चत्वारौ दक्षिणे सव्यम्
पादपद्मं च जानुनि
पादपद्मं च जानुनि
बाहुं प्रकोष्ठे क्षमालाम्
बाहुं प्रकृष्टमालाम्
आसीनं तर्कमुद्रया.
आसीत्
तर्कमुत्
Translation: His left leg was placed on his right thigh, and his left hand was placed on his left thigh. This sitting posture is called Virasana. In his right hand, he held Rudraksha and Rudraksha beads, and his finger was in the mode of argument. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The sitting posture described herein is called Virasana. According to the system of Ashtanga Yoga performances, in the performance of yoga, there are 8 divisions, such as Yama, Niyama, controlling, following the rules and regulation, then practicing the sitting postures, etc. Beside Virasana, there are other sitting postures, such as Padmasana and Siddhasana. Practice of these asanas without elevating oneself to the position of realizing the super soul Vishnu is not the perfectional stage of yoga. Lord Shiva is called Yogishvara, the master of all yogis, and Krishna is called Yogeshvara. Yogishvara indicates that no one can surpass the yoga practice of Lord Shiva, and Yogeshvara indicate that no one can surpass the yogic perfection of Krishna. Another significant word is Tarka Mudra. This indicates that the fingers are opened and second finger is raised along with the arm to impress the audience with the some subject matter. This is actually a symbolic representation. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shrivat Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhavetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So again I welcome all of you in this Bhagavatam class in the auspicious month of Kartik, which is very favorite month of Krishna, because this is Radharani's month. The Krishna who attract thousands of Cupid in this world is Madana Mohan, and Radharani who attracts such a Madan Mohan is Madana Mohana Mohini. So this month is very auspicious. So on the Sunday, last to last Sunday, we had a yajna in the temple, and many devotees took a vow of chanting extra rounds. Some took a vow of reading, and they have a thread. So this is a ceremony, but there is a lot of benefit in this Kartik one can take, because sometime what happen, it is very simple to understand. Sometime the jivas don't take bhakti so seriously. So some month, some bonus is given. If you do this thing, you will get more. But one should not be fruitive, but we have to take full benefit of this Kartik Mass. So uh, today's discussion is around Shiva, when the Brahma insisted all the devatas that you should go and meet Lord Shiva. So it was Brahma's instruction. So if you see throughout this sixth chapter where Brahma satisfied Lord Shiva, so initially when all the demigods, they're approaching Lord Brahma for the help, as they always approach, you know, when there was a burden on the earth, they approach, and through Brahma went and he did tapasya, and he got the transcendental message of the Lord that I am going to take birth. So then, whenever these demigods are administrative, they have administrative power in the universe. So whenever they have some sufferings in their life, to mitigate that, they just approach their bona fide authority, Lord Brahma. And further in this chapter, there is a beautiful description of Kailasa Hill, and then description of Alaka region. There is a two region actually. One is a Kailasa and then is a Alaka region. And then darshan of Lord Shiva seen by the demigod. So now what we are describing here in this shloka, how he is sitting in the posture. Then Brahma glorifies Lord Shiva and petition him at the end. So this is very beautiful chapter. Look like there is a lot of detail about you know uh, about this Alaka region or Kailas. So when first time these Devi Devatas came after this incident and they approached Lord Brahma, so Brahma told them, you cannot be happy if you offend a great personality. We lose everything if we offend a great personality. It happens with Indra when he offended his guru, and immediately so many consequences. You know, what to speak of Lord Shiva? He's a Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. He is the greatest of all Vaishnavas, and he got offended. So Brahma said, you cannot be happy. So this is the first principle we learn from this chapter, how it is sensitive. And we don't know, we cannot say that we can, the neophyte also, maybe tomorrow he will be the pure devotee, the Suruchi offended, Dhruva, not knowing his devotional power. One can be the devotee in the future. Just it is going to manifest. The time is separating. In proper terms, we can say. But he is manifested his devotional service later. But that's what one should not judge. Our ISKCON is actually judgment-free zone. Nowadays, people are advertising in so many of their, gym, particularly, so many gyms, Planet Fitness and all. This is judgment-free zone. We don't judge. So actually, the Prabhupada movement is judgment-free zone. If you see in all the scripture, if people judge, then we will not get any opportunity to serve. Actually, nobody judge here, and it is expected that we should not judge anyone. There should not be any labeling. There should not be any judgment. And here, the people are disrespecting Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva, he has a pure heart. He's always think about how I can expand this mission of Lord Krishna, and I can connect every jiva to Lord Krishna. And he go to such an extent that he has, matted hairs. He has all the ashes from the cremation ground. He just smeared his body with that. And he is giving opportunity to all these, jivas with their subtle body so that they get association of some devotee. His mission is always finding some option, some or other, ena kena prakarena. I will connect all the jiva at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. And that should be the mission. If you see our ISKCON purposes or four pillars of ISKCON, the essential pillar is preaching is the essence, and preaching not necessarily actual gathering some group and talking to them. The preaching also involved by our behavior. Many times most of the devotee, just by seeing the behavior of the Prabhupada, how he dealt in that situation, they become a devotee. So preaching is essence, means every aspect we can see as a preaching. It may be deity worship, it may be pot washing, the way we wash. The people get attracted at any aspect. They may not be attracted by philosophy. So many incidences, and we heard many times in Prabhupada Lilamrut and other books that how the people got attracted to this movement. So this is Lord Shiva finding opportunity in everything. The devotee like Lord Shiva, Narad Muni, they are always talking that there is some opportunity and we can give it to all the jivas. And Radharani, particularly in this month, she is always saying that I am not a great, my devotees are great, and she is recommending us to Krishna. So that is her position, her simplicity in devotion. So later, Brahma described that any embodied being do not know how powerful Lord Shiva is. We don't know his position. We may just, do some offense, or we may just disrespect, or we may just judge by seeing the external situation of Lord Shiva or external body of Lord Shiva. So Brahma, along with all of them, left for Kailas, saying this and discussing this. And then this Kailasa hill is filled with so many aushadis, so many Vedic hymns, the mystic yoga the people were performing. Such a powerful hill. There were valuable gems, valuable minerals, waterfalls, beautiful caves, peacocks, and sweet vibration all around. That is Kailash. There were tall trees, then many elephants. There are flower bearing trees, fruit bearing trees, the flower and lakes full of various birds and varieties of deer. And it was surrounded by Alakananda, which is made more auspicious by bathing of Sati. So this is the wonderful description before we open this particular verse. And outside this city, there were Nanda and Alakananda. So these are the rivers actually, Nanda and Alakananda. It is said that they wash the feet of Lord Vishnu, and they become Ganga. So this is what Nanda and Alakananda. And here the demigods coming and to take their bath and along with their wives, and it was so fragrant because they are in the celestial body. So all the fragrance mixed with the air, and it's carrying the aroma all around. Actually, it was so, uh, I mean, that is the ambience there, and it was filled with many beautiful airplanes. And demigods were passing through the region of Kuvera. The fragrance of sandalwood trees agitate the damsels, and the bathing ghat with steps, it was there are so many steps, and which is made up of Vaidurya money. So much opulence of this Alaka region after describing the Kailas mountain, why it is given there, you know, the mood of demigod, or we if we attracted by flowery language of the Vedas, or uh, having all these description. So this description to keep us there in the material world in one sense, because all demigod, they were engaged in the sense gratification. But the devotee of the Lord, having all these opulences also, he find out the opportunities, how I can connect all these opulences to Krishna. And that is the position of Lord Shiva. If you see, in the region where there are two regions actually. The Kailasa is the region of Lord Shiva, and Alkapuri where Yaksha was situated. And Kuvera is the king of Yaksha. Kuvera is the wealthiest person among demigod, treasure of demigod, or wealthiest person. So whenever somebody is wealthy, he become, I mean, he's wealthiest person, but still Shiva is in association of Kuvera also, from this Alakapuri region, Alaka region, and he was also in the association of Kumara. In other way around, these Yakshas also taking association of Lord Shiva, and Kuvera also, I mean, sorry, this Kuvera also taking association of Lord Shiva, and Kumaras also. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary write that the Shiva had both material opulences and spiritual knowledge. He never bewildered having such a thing around him. Kailasa, in one sense, he's a leader of that region, but he never got bewildered. What to speak of this when in Yaksha Yagya, that Yagya, particular that Yagya was happening, he never deviated because he was completely absorbed. This absorption is actually one has to achieve in Krishna consciousness, and that's what this month of Radharani especially signifies, that absorption in Krishna. Mother Yashoda, she was simple lady from village. She was Nandarani. She was a queen of that particular region, but her heart was so simple. In 10th canto describe Mother Yashoda when she was churning butter at that time. She was composing some song in local Vrajaboli. She is not a great poet, she was not a great philosopher, and she was not caring who will hear my song and who will give me recognition, you know, because little Kana was only her heart, an object of love. Her only business to satisfy Kana. And that's what she was feeding the Padmaganda grass to those cows so that my Kana will get fragrant milk, and that was her business. That's it, dedicating entire consciousness to Krishna and well-being of Krishna, always talking of Krishna, and that was her mood. So she was composing the song without you know uh, without worrying about the tunes, the meter, the I mean that particular composition from Sanskrit, the great word, but with simple Vrajaboli, she was composing the song. Prabhupada write in this commentary, and she was, you know, just glorifying little Krishna. And these her song are far, far greater than Vedic hymns. She was directly glorifying Lord Krishna. One has to study, this thing. Actually, that much potent it was, and always glorifying Lord Krishna. She was absorbed in the thought of Krishna when he will get up, and all these thoughts was there in that particular Damodar Leela. So the this is what the mood of devotee, always getting absorbed. So we have to also find the opportunity in this particular month of Kartik, by following the footsteps of Lord Shiva, Narada Muni, Mother Yashoda, that how I can, at least in the month of Kartik, whoever I will meet, I can describe the story of Damodar Leela to everyone. Some devotee take a vow that every day at least I will hear, not as a recording, but from some other devotee, or at least I will narrate this story to other every day. It is not at all boring. This Leela is so powerful, happen in Diwali day. So one can take a vow that I can, preach the glories of the Lord through this Leela. So potent month, we can have Damodar program. We can connect people to the Damodar program. Uh, Mother Jaira, she is taking care of all the coordination, so one can give the name from your group if anybody want to keep Damodar program at their home. I'm telling you my experience. Last week I was in altar doing fruit offering, and Sham Kishore Prabhu requested me that nobody is going to one Damodar program. Can you go? I'm telling you, many people come for Damodar program, but one has to go, one has to connect them, because whenever there is a ritual, people want to call Hare Krishna devotees, but we can take this opportunity for preaching them. In this Earth planet, there are there are not even 1% people are devotee. We should not think like that. So there is a lot of scope, actually, lot of scope to preach, and we have to find these preaching opportunities like Lord Shiva, Narad Muni. So 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 we are in coming back to this point that after this Alkapuri's description, there is a darshan of Lord Shiva as seen by the demigod. So there was a banyan tree which was 100 yojanas high, and there the Shiva was a grave. He was sitting below that tree. He has given up anger. You know, the One doesn't have to carry the anger throughout the life. There is one incident in one yatra where two senior devotee has one argument and one fight which is seen by the newcomers, and they got bewildered. But point is that next day they were nicely together, nice friend. They were smiling. They were talking to each other. So in Kali Yuga is such a design in such a way there is a quarrel, immediate quarrel without. It's like a California fire without any reason. There is a fire and so many trees will burn into ashes without any reason. Fire will be there, but how we behave after that, that is very important. In this incident, I was also witness that after these two devotee had some argument and people got bewildered in some bus in Yatra. But next day we saw. So immediate, one should not judge anyone, one should not label anyone because this is a Kali Yuga. With devotee also, this thing will happen. But we have to see the situation. After that, what happen is important. This thing will happen. The two pots come together, they will make a noise. But after that, what happened, that matters a lot. And that's what Prabhupada says. One's greatness has to be estimated by his ability to tolerate the provoking situation. Famous statement, even outsiders also, if you tell, they appreciate this statement. Famous. One day, my spiritual master in the class, he repeatedly told her that you have to repeat this statement. And he made us repeat it, this statement. So powerful statement. So Kali Yuga influence is there, but what happens after that? So immediately one should not react by seeing this thing. One should not judge Lord Shiva. The point is that so the Shiva was surrounded by Kubera and Kumaras, and Shiva was very perfect in Vidya, all the knowledge. He has a full knowledge. He is great tapasvi. He's a great yogi, and his yoga here it is. There is one particular word is used, yoga patham. His yoga patham was devotion to Lord Vishnu. It is not any mystic yoga. It is clearly defined. He is completely absorbed in the holy name. Even it is said that in Kashi or somebody is passing from this world, the Shiva take holy name of the Lord in his ear. He is present there. So that is Lord Shiva. You know, Whenever any yoga word come with him, it is not like any ordinary yoga, just some mystic yoga or some exercise. It is not like that. So Shiva yoga means it come from yuja, word yuja. He always connect himself with Lord Krishna. And that is his position. And he has a deer skin, matted hair, staff, ashes, the crescent. He's like a crescent moon. He's described as a moon. So and in this particular shloka today, I mean, in 37 shloka, we talk about, he was speaking about the absolute truth with Narada Muni, with Kumaras, Brahma. And this is what the devotee does. This is the great. That's what, when, uh, last Sunday feast, I was hearing when uh, Champakvali Mataji and Radhika, they were announcing about this Kartik Mass. I was amazed, in this announcement that one particular word that we should not criticize anyone. And this is really great. So that's what our community is. We can see the mood of leaders in our community. You know, the criticism is not at all accepted actually. There should not be any excuse there. And the mood is preaching. And so we can see here that devotee in one word comes in this conversation in this particular verse is surudam, vishwa surudam, the welfare or well-being of all living entity, and that is Shiva's position. And we can see in Krishna's position also that he's a Surudam Sarva Bhutanam. So devotee also and Krishna also, the devotee also carrying the mood of Krishna, of being Surudam Sarva Bhutanam. Means he's a dedicated devotee like Narad Muni, just looking opportunity, trying with different options. Narad Muni don't give up actually. He tried different option so that everybody can come to the feet of Krishna. All these efforts, it's not like just I mean gathering more and more followers, more and more credit that I have so many people to follow, so many followers are there. It's not like that. But devotee, they say, boiling the milk, uh, he just dedicate in such a way, finding so many options, so many detail. He always meditate that how I can make the people devotee and connect to him, and one has to always pray. It's not like, janam na dhanam na janam. Actually, we should be in that mood. So it is not like, followers and follower, because that is not the mood of Lord Chaitanya. We are deviating, actually. I mean, you know we should not be, I mean, we should understand the mood of Guru and our Shiksha Guru, and we should not be obstacle there, obstacle in between this teaching and other ordinary people. We should pass this teaching without any deviation. Our ego made make obstacle, actually, to this teaching sometime, because when we absorb this teaching, pass into the other, if you don't take credit and there is no thing about gathering more and more followers, what will happen? The pure teaching will go to the people. Our only mood is to just pass this message to the people. We should be simple hearted. The heart should be very simple. None other than the business. We are just a part of the Sankirtana movement, and some or other, like that squirrel, we are trying to connect people to this movement. That should be the mood. That should be the mood, actually. So, so the another thing here, it is said that uh, Lord Shiva is Tarka Mudra, and his one finger, uh, which is very close to the thumb, he's creating Tarka Mudra. So it is like Lord Shiva. This mudra is not to show the power to the audience. This mudra simply, it is like a in some logical argument. It mudra indicate the argument, but this is about the philosophical discussion with Narad Muni, Brahma, Kuveras. He was talking about Lord Krishna, proving sometimes scientifically. Prabhupada proved in in his books, many, many small book, if you read, Prabhupada just wanted to prove scientifically the existence of God, but he understood that so many scientists bewilder the general populace by giving so many theories which are actually bogus. And that's what Prabhupada wanted to actually doing reclamation. I mean, he want to purify all this, whatever science says. When Prabhupada books came, we actually understood what they were saying also. Sometimes I also never understood the some of the scientists what they were saying. But Prabhupada, he gave us a knowledge. He gave us a proper knowledge, and so many scientific theories, we understood that how they were bogus. So only the motto, not about glorifying the science, but Krishna consciousness itself is a science. Who can say boldly, that Krishna consciousness is a science? So So devotee always, glorifying Lord Krishna when they come together. That is their business. Actually, there is no other business. They will talk logistic. Also, devotee will come to there. They talk about planning. They talk about execution. But the only business is the essence is the preaching, or the essence is based on Prabhupada books. And it is like uh, the Pachita Madhagata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam. That is the mood, actually. When devotee come together, they always talk, constantly talk about Krishna. And their priority is like a Suruda, their welfare of each and every one. So there is a shloka comes in the same, the fourth canto, that Titikshasva Karunika, Suruda Sarva Dehina, Ajata Shatravo Shanta, Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. The devotee is very tolerant, Karunika, very compassionate. Suruda Sarva Dehinam. He is very much well-wisher of everyone. Ajata Shatrava, he is not having any enemy. Shanta Sadhava Sadhabhushana. The devotee take pleasure when two devotees talk with each other. He do not think, I am feeling some insecurity because two devotees are talking, then what will happen to me? That is not the mood of devotee. They always think that, wow, two devotees, at least they have great and deep relationship. I have to glorify it, actually, because we need this in our society. He doesn't think that I am now insecure because two devotees are talking to each other, you know. And he's always titikshasva karunika. That is the mood. So, so Lord Shiva, by seeing external features of Lord Shiva, one should not judge that we describe. He is the owner of the mode of ignorance in one sense, but he is not affected by ignorance. It is said that the cow is a representation of mode of goodness, because cow, I mean, she's very auspicious. Just by being surrounded by, if you are surrounded by cows, you are in New Vrindavan, will feel that auspiciousness. And the lion, they said that he is like in mode of passion. He is not team worker, but he want to wander alone in the forest, and all the animals flee away. That is a lion. And the jackal, he just waiting when lion and tiger eat something, and then I will get, without any endeavor. So that is mode of ignorance actually. So Shiva is in charge of ignorance, but he is never affected by ignorance. If you see all this description, we can understand the greatness of Lord Shiva. So just in conclusion, because on this point about the three modes of material nature, they are so important. In Christianity also, somebody want to study, they just refer back these three mode of material nature in the pages of Gita. That is the greatness of Gita. So it is said that I was discussing with Sham Kishore Prabhu once day that this Jada Bharata, he was finding the opportunity when he can preach someone, but he never talk in his life in the role of Jada Bharata. His step brothers, they were chastising him. He just neglected them. He did not speak a word. Then his father wanted that he should do achmana in particular way. He should learn the Vedic sciences. He should go to the proper school. But he also rejected. Actually, though there is why he was rejecting. Father was not telling him some bad thing, right? Father was telling him good things in life. He was giving values to him. I mean, he was giving some value education to Jada Bharata. He was offering that opportunity. But why Jada Bharata, in common sense, he should not neglect the father, but he understood in his heart that my father is in the mood of passion as my brother, because my father doesn't want that I should be a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. His only motto is to uh, engage me in some ritual. And engaging ritual doesn't means that, there are so many ritual in India. If you saw, all of us has done so many ritual. I was also contemplating, after doing so many ritual for 19-20 years, why the heart never transformed by worshipping so many demigod. Art never transform. But just we come in the Prabhupada, book, at least we started thinking there is a spiritual world. We are not a body, we are a soul. Association of devotee is a topmost priority in the life. All these thought process came just in contact with one pure devotee in the form of his book. This is what happened. So this Jadabharata understood my father is in passion. He just wanted some rituals. He doesn't want that I should change. I should transform my life. I should connect to Krishna. So one should understand also in our relationship when people, I mean, in which mode they are situated, and is it right for me? It look like they are knowledgeable, they are engaging me in some good thing, but it might be passion. I like Jarabharata understood. He did not spoke a single word with his father. And when it happened that when Rahuguna, one was a palking carrier for the Rahuguna, and then there is a debate between them. Immediately he spoke to Rahuguna, understanding this. Rahuguna is in mode of goodness. He understood because goodness is little close to bhakti, but there was chances that one can do to that happiness. One can be lazy, too much happy. Many Indians they tell us, we are so much happy, we don't need this Hare Krishna mantra. हम तो मन में लेते ही है. One lady was telling me, अरे मैं तो बच्चों को सुलाते वक्त ये तो मंत्र लेती हूँ रोज. मैंने बोला माला लेके बैठो. माला करना इंपॉर्टेंट है एक्चुअली. वो बोलते हमारा तो हमेशा कीर्तनीय सदाहुरी होता है. तो मुझे लगा ग्रेट एक्चुअली. हमारा सोना वाला भी होता नहीं. एंड देयर आर सम पीपल एक्चुअली दे विल टेल यू लाइक दैट. मन में करते हैं हम. मन में बहुत माला होती है हमारी. But if you take one mala in your hand, they do not do that actually. So sattva guna में problem ऐसा होता है. What happen is sometime. So too much knowledge, and it is symbolized, I mean, characterized by knowledge and what is that? Sukham. So Sukham make us lazy sometime, and that knowledge we will become pride and go to the Rajoguna. And that due to that Sukham, we go to the laziness or ignorance. So it is up to us how to maintain it in the association of devotee. But there are higher degree of chances one can come to the Shuddha Sattva in that mood. So when all these Durga's worshipper, they try to capture the Kali's worshipper to this Jadabharata. He did not spoke a single word there as well. Understanding that they are in mode of ignorance, they will not understand it, And by looking at the proper opportunity, proper ambience, that's what devotee do. He will not bewildered by description of Kailas or Alakapuri, but he always finds some proper opportunity, and he spread the Krishna consciousness. So this was the life of Jada Bharat as well. We can see in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is what I thought to speak because I was not prepared. Just 1 hour back, I got to know that I need to speak on the subject matter, which is very higher. I don't have any qualification. Thank you for your patience. Thank you so much. If anybody has any reflection, they can talk about that. Or we can close the call. Anybody want to add anything?
Just want to say thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Nice translation.
Hare Krishna. I'm also joining some other company call. Thank you so much for your patience
Hare
here. Please
Hare
pray
Krishna.
for me that
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I should observe in this Kartik Mass. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Need your lot of blessing, all of you.
Hare